Good morning and or afternoon, everybody. Gonna give it 1 or 2 more minutes here before we kick it off and let others go ahead and join, but appreciate you guys hanging in here and we'll get started shortly. All right, everybody, we'll go ahead and kick this off. Thank you guys so much for being here. Today's webinar is what high-performing finance teams do differently. So automating AP, compliance, and document workflows with Sage Paperless Construction Cloud. My name is Shane Melanson here with the Sage Paperless team, sales executive. I've got my wonderful colleague, Paxton Hester, on the line here with us. He's going to walk you through a demonstration today after this short slide deck. So kind of what we'll cover here, intro to Sage Paperless, a quick look at our history and our products, finance teams that have cracked the code. So checking in on what high-performing finance teams do differently. The pain of paper-heavy workflows and a look at the true cost of manual AP processes. And then, like I mentioned, my colleague here, Paxton, will take you into the product, show you a quick demo, and see what's possible when Sage goes paperless. So a little bit of history here. Sage Paperless came about in 2015. So launched for users of Sage 100 Contractor and Sage 300 CRE. Fast forward to 2024, Sage Intacct Paperless launches, which is a cloud-based solution for Sage Intacct users. And then this year in 2026, Sage Paperless Construction goes to the cloud. So specifically cloud-based solution for Sage 100 Contractor and Sage 300 CRE users. Oh, my mouse died on me. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, so what is Sage Paperless? Trusted AP workflow automation, intuitive document management, seamless integration with your Sage systems. So Sage Paperless Construction, like I mentioned, for Sage 100 Contractor and Sage 300 CRE, both available with an on-prem solution or in the cloud, and then Sage Intacct Paperless in the cloud for Sage Intacct users. So the Sage solution for AP workflow automation, compliance management, and document management, allowing your teams to capture, index, and route for AP and other documents across your entire organization. So it's going to allow you to manage all aspects of your AP process from procurement to payment. And of course, secure storage for all your business documents, even the most critical and sensitive. So let's look into some customer testimonials on, finance teams that have really cracked the code here. First one up here, company AM Ortega Construction. They're a commercial construction company out of California. Some of the challenges that they were facing, so they were moving approximately 4,000 AP invoices per month through a manual AP process, routing paper invoices for approval, making copies of checks, and stapling all those things together. Then weekly, after payroll, 350 to 400 unsorted, out of order daily field billing reports needed to be organized and invoiced before they were billed. So key employee was initially skeptical of an automation solution. So introducing Sage Paperless Construction, they brought that on. Some of the results that they experienced here is reduce the time to get invoices from payables to billing from between 3 to 10 days down to less than 48 hours. They were able to reduce their billing cycle from 15 to 20 days down to 2 days. Significant improvements here. So further shortened billing cycle by auto routing daily field reports to the right billing person, and increase cash flow by 3 to 4 million per year. So in their own words, our key AP employee was initially very skeptical about going paperless. 60 days later, she said she couldn't imagine doing the old way again. There are no more routing paper invoices, making copies of checks, stapling them to invoices, and filing them. We've completely revamped the way we handle payables. So that was from Mr. Bruce Evinrude, CEO over there at AM Ortega. Next up,
Hello?
really quick. Hey, Leanne, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
So next up, another kind of highlight here, customer Palmer Brothers Painting Contracts, general contractor right there in Maryland. So some of their challenges, like we saw before, all invoices processed manually, paper invoices and supporting documents were distributed to project managers' individual mailboxes to wait for approval. That might sound familiar to some of you. So approval could take up to 2 weeks. Meanwhile, further processing was delayed. And common theme, key AP employee initially skeptical of an automated solution. So they also implemented Sage Paperless Construction. What they noticed, invoices are delivered to a designated email inbox. Digital invoice routing reduced processing times from up to 2 weeks down to 1 to 2 days. Increased productivity with easy to retrieve data. PMs have a single centralized location for all support documents, and no more time digging for lost or misplaced files. So Rachel Irish over there, I remember working with Rachel quite a bit. So it's all about being more efficient, she said. By moving to Sage Paperless, a number of time-consuming steps and processes have been eliminated. Sage Paperless has made my job more streamlined from start to finish. With less paper cluttering up my desk, everything gets done faster. So some insight for you guys from current customers who have seen exponential benefits here. Now, to kind of touch on too, the pain of paper-heavy AP workflows. So, raise your hand or anything if some of these sound familiar to you guys, but paper-heavy invoice processing workflows can take a long time, of course, a lot of legwork to track, follow up, and get approved. So some of the things you guys might see: mismatched and duplicate invoices, inefficient email approval chains, office to job site delays and bottlenecks, searching for paper files for audits or legal issues, lost invoices, receipts, and other paperwork, and maybe some missed early pay discounts. I always kind of like highlighting that. I've had customers who signed up for paperless, they were missing discounts, and just being able to capture those discounts by utilizing paperless, it paid for the software itself. So the true cost of manual AP processes, what we found and what studies show, 68% of organizations still manually enter invoices into the accounting software. Typical cost for each manual processed invoice ranges anywhere from $12 to $35. So that's, receiving the invoice, printing it out, maybe scanning it back. You hand it off to somebody physically. It comes back. Then AP's got to manually enter that. And then if it's all right, as far as coding goes, no problem. But that cost starts to add up. If you have some errors there, you need to go back through routing and all this. So high cost just to process those things manually. So your AP workflow is better with automation. We're going to see what's possible when Sage goes paperless, like I mentioned with Paxton here, but some kind of key points here. Again, you're going to be able to identify, scan, and upload invoices to processor queues and store them in one secure location. Intuitive AI makes invoice entry fast, efficient, and accurate. 2- and 3-way matching of documentation. So match invoices with all associated documents and automatically route those for approval using rules set up specific for your guys' organizations. And of course, the cloud-based technology, lightning fast speed, compliance, and document workflows. Trusted integration, of course, being the Sage product, and no IT hassle. Couple benefits here working in the cloud, like I had mentioned, supersonic speed, so seamless integration, no lags or long sync times, just fast, reliable performance here, guys. Stay current, no downtime needed for software updates and things like that. With it being cloud-based, those updates are pushed right to the software, and you have no downtime whatsoever in that. Top-notch security, of course, so you can keep your critical data safe, sound, and locked down with secure cloud storage. No hassle integration, like I had mentioned. Best-in-class automation with no IT resources or the expenses of hosting your own servers. And it's the true SaaS model. So continuous innovation with sleek and a modern interface. All right, and with that, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Paxton to show you guys through Sage Paperless. Take it away, Paxton.
All right, Shane, thanks so much. You guys should be able to see my screen now. As Shane mentioned, Paxton Hush here with Sage Paperless, and going to walk you through the system. Right here, we're going to start on our homepage, just a high-level view of everything going on in our system. Our documents that are being routed around, any active documents, people who are logged in, and also exactly where our information is. On our left side is our tree we're going to walk through, our capture, retrieve, AP flow, doc routing module. This is just for regular types of documents outside of AP, contract, new hire, new project, anything that you want to kick off that you're going to need to add some documents to, and possibly have that audit trail go around. And then finally, our clear to pay module. This is our full compliance tool. We track on your company's level, but then from there, we track on the vendors, the subs of the subs, as many tiers down as you want to go. And we do this on certificates of insurance, lien waivers, commitments, certified payroll, any type of custom compliance that may be specific to your company. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start in our capture tab. This is how we're getting our documents into the system. Pretty straightforward with a couple of manual methods. Simply open a file. There's also drag and drop available. Most companies today, though, they do have email addresses. And so for that, we have what we call an email import. An email import gives us the ability to watch an email address or multiple email addresses or even subfolders within email addresses to automatically pull your documents into the system. And the key with automatically getting your documents into the system is when we get into AP Flow, OCR actually takes care of those documents and starts coding them out. So while you're not even in your AP Flow tab, your documents are already being coded for you. We simply give it that source we're watching. We have an errors option. We actually will alert you if we're unable to pull something. You can go back and maybe see what's going on with that email. An archiving option, are we keeping or we're deleting? And then finally, a configuration. Where are we sending these documents? We send them to queues within the paperless system, and you can set up as many different queues as you would like. A lot of companies on the larger side may have a queue for a specific vendor, a specific job that processor works on a daily basis. Some of our companies just have a general queue where everyone comes in and they kind of work through the invoices as a group. With the attachments, we actually can bring in the embedded email with the embedded attachment, or we can bring in the attachments only. A lot of times you're going to choose both just because you might not want to miss some information in the email that might actually pertain to the invoice. And then finally, we can even limit down the types of files that come in. Next, we're going to go into our retrieval tab. Within our retrieval tab are where our reports are going to live. Our CEO was the CFO of a large construction company here in South Louisiana, and he loves his reports. So these are paperless specific reports. And the good thing about these reports, everyone, is that you can actually automate these to be delivered to you on a time frame that you would like, maybe every day, maybe once a week, maybe once a month, right? But once you set it up, it's going to be delivered to you in that time frame that you've selected. Also in our retrieval tab is how we're going to find our documents. Within our retrieve, we need two criteria to find a document in our system. The first is what type of document is it? And the second one is an index value. The example that I usually like to use, because I'm sure this has probably come across before to you guys, someone walks in your office and says, hey, I need everything on a certain job, right? I don't just need invoices. I need purchase orders. I need receiving tickets. I need credit card receipts. I need drawings. I need anything that we have for that. With the paperless system, I can simply come in here, Go to my drop-down menu of all doc types. Again, we have 20 plus years of doc types already built in. Feel free to add your own, or you can even rename what we have here. But next, what we'll do is we'll go down and give it an index value. So quickly, I'll do my drop down. I'll hit J. And now from here, I can look back in the accounting system and go to the right. I went to cost code there, went too quick. There we go, job number. And now I'm going to look back in the accounting system and find all of my jobs. I'll quickly, this is the job that I was requested to get the information on. I hit OK, I hit search. And now you'll see I have all the documents that came back. I've got invoices, credit card receipts, scroll down a little bit, receiving ticket, purchase order, timesheets, everything that's associated. Now for that request, I'll go ahead and select all these documents and simply route them to someone that's in it with an internal request. If it's an external request, I'll just email them to them. They can open up the email and then they can review whatever documents we've sent to them. Now I may have a question on a specific document within here. So if I click on that I can quickly see the document information, who indexed it and when, and there's an audit trail. Every document, whether it's AP or not, gets a full audit trail within our system. So no more, you never sent it to me, I never got it, right? We have date and time that we sent it, date and time they opened it up. Next, we have our reviewers who actually approved this invoice, our index values that are associated with it, any document notes that have been put on this, either at the line level or at the invoice level, snapshots, document matches, like Shane mentioned, 2- and 3-way matching of documents. Now I've got these 3 documents in nice one tight little area so I can answer any questions I may have. And then finally, a simple document preview. But now we'll kind of move into the guts of the system. This is our AP flow. Within our AP flow, we also have another dashboard specific to AP. Kind of gives me an idea of where my documents are by vendor, maybe by job, out for age, different things like that. But now we'll go into our invoice entry tab. And within our invoice entry tab, we're going to have our invoices on the left side in its queue. And before we start here, a lot of questions that we usually get, we process all kinds of different types of invoices. You can process any type of invoice in here. It could be subcontract, could be PO, receiving ticket, job, expense, anything that you can imagine we can process through this system. We use what we call OCR, optical character recognition. And what that is it's actually reading the entire document and it's looking for keywords and phrases on this document to help start coding it out for you. You will go through implementation and training with our team, and you're going to create workflows. These workflows is the information that you want to capture. As you can see here, we need name, ID, number, date, total. A PO number is great, but we don't work in POs, no big deal. A couple of call outs here that I'll make. It's not a template-based OCR. And what that means to you guys is Beaverton Sand and Gravel could move their information to the right, to the middle, to the bottom. It really doesn't matter. All we need is this name and this remit to address. Look back in the accounting system to get the correct vendor ID. We might have Beaverton Sand may have multiple locations with different vendor IDs. Well, we check these 2 categories here and then go back and pull that correct vendor ID. And we do this so when we come in and we're ready to start processing an invoice, we simply click off here. You'll see because it did find a PO, now it's looked up in the accounting system and says, hey, this invoice and this PO don't match. So it's going to give me the opportunity to select the lines I actually want to apply. If the PO or subcontract actually match the invoice, it'll automatically apply those lines for you. So I'll quickly add this to the invoice. And now I am ready to actually route this invoice out or approve this invoice. I can perform any document matches as well from here. We have this feature here too called Add a Vendor. This feature can be turned off if depending on your workflow for creating vendors, but you can add a vendor in paperless. And if you add that vendor in paperless, it adds the vendor in the accounting system for you as well. You can create allocations and even manage secondary vendors through here. To my right is where I can put my invoice notes or line notes. Again, our document matches. We'll have some reviewer information in just a second whenever we route this around. My document actually is going to live in this dynamic pop-out tab. We'll pop it out one time and one time only. And when we do that, if we weren't on Teams, guys, we could actually have it on 2 screens. I'm simply reviewing the invoice, looking at my coding, and routing this document around. Now, when we route this, as Shane mentioned before, this is where your routing rules are going to jump into play. You can route off of anything on the invoice. It could be a vendor, could be a date, could be a total, could be a job number, could be anything that you want to do. And we also route in a sequential order from 0 to as high as you want to go. But we also route on the line level. So if you have an invoice that may go across multiple jobs with different approvers, we're actually going to only route to them what belongs to them. That way they don't have to take extra time to find the invoice lines that are actually applying to them. For your approvers, you can create tasks and events. Task may be for your approvers to do backup documentation. An event may be to reach out to the vendor because you're noticing a spike in cost. But we'll simply route that document off. When we do that, our next document is going to populate. There's that same invoice we just had. But watch when I try to add this now. It's going to let me know that I can't do any duplicate documents in the system. So it's not going to allow you to process any duplicate documents. So yes, we can read on the line, on the header level, and we can match to POs and subcontracts and receiving tickets, but maybe you work in job lines. We have OCR that actually captures the line level detail as well. Same exact invoice. When I come in to process this one now, my line has already been applied. So we can capture information on the line level. We can capture information on the header level to help you speed up your coding faster. From the approval of the invoice side, I'm going to go over here to Mr. Jacob Dawson's queue because I just routed him that information. I'll go ahead and pull up my detail here. He can review this information. You'll notice that some of these are actually grayed out. This is information that cannot be changed. Everything that you see that's still in white, it has the ability to change information, even look up information if their job is to finish coding this. They also will have access for PO and subcontract and receiving ticket invoices, worksheets to see exactly where they stand in real time with what's going on that job. To their right will be any notes or tasks that they will have to complete. They'll also be able to see the different people that are behind them within the route, should they have a question on that. Their document too lives in that dynamic pop out tab. They'll pop it out one time. It'll flow through their invoices as they flow through their queue, approving or rejecting. Speaking of rejecting or placing on hold, if they reject or place on hold, they must give it a note. They cannot just reject or place on hold because it's going to go back to the processor and they're going to need to know why. If it came to them inadvertently, they can actually route it to someone else internally within the system and actually remove themselves as a reviewer. So what we'll do here is we actually can just approve this invoice, but you'll notice now, oh, I didn't complete my task. So now we need to go into my task. Oh, I need to attach a document. So I'll quickly go here, attach my document. And now that that's attached, I've got to select it there real quick. There we go. Attach my document, close that. And now I'll go ahead and approve my invoice. It'll move to my next invoice and I will just continue to walk through until I'm completely finished with my queue or I need to move on to another task. Next area we'll stop into from our invoice entry is our work in process invoices. We have what's called an invoice manager is these three little lines here. We open this up and I'm going to go across all processors. These are all of our invoices that are currently being routed around for approval. As you can see here, I have quite a few in here. It would be hard for me as an individual to keep up with this. So what we can do for you is we actually can create emails to go out to your approvers to let them know something's in their queue. They'll receive these emails at your discretion. You could set it up every day, once a week, once every couple of weeks, once a month, top of the hour, bottom of the hour. Kind of depends on however you want to set that up for your workflow. But that just allows them to know that there's something in their queue for them to go in, review, and then go ahead and approve so we can keep this process moving and we can go ahead and get our invoices paid. But as an invoice manager, you can actually approve invoices over the top of everyone. This might be something that's out for a discount, as Shane talked about earlier. This might be something that's pay when received situation. So, but again, any of the tasks that are done within here are going to be followed in that audit trail should there be a question. Also now from our invoice entry screen, we can go to our ready for export. These are the invoices that have been fully coded. They've been fully approved, and now we're ready to send them to our accounting system to be paid. From here, I could select one, I could select all, kind of depends on how many you want to go ahead and push over to the accounting system. Simply select, export this information. It now goes real time back into the accounting system. When it goes back into the accounting system, obviously all the coding is going to go where it belongs, but you'll also go over with an image of the invoice should you need to review that. If there's any supporting documentation, it will be provided on a link that you can click on and then view those documents as well. So as we move through our tree over here on the left, next is our payment manager. Payment manager is the old school way of writing the check, printing the invoices, putting the check on top of the invoices, putting them on the owner's desk and letting him review. We simply do this electronically for you. Once you cut your payment over in your accounting system, we now can read from the bank account information. We can select a check number, a beginning and ending check number, a date range, electronic payment, completely up to you guys how you want to do this. And then we're simply going to run this check review real fast. It's going to go through and pull our check number and any invoices associated with it. There will be images. This one's actually processed outside of our system, but the image of the invoice will show here. And also that toolbar to the right will show the reviewers, index values, supporting documentation. So really nice, tight place to find all this information. As we keep moving down, we have our credit card importer. This is going to help with your expense management. We don't have any credit cards, so feel free to use any type of credit card you would like. But we do have an app that allows your guys in the field take a picture of their receipt and provide us with 3 values: vendor, date, and total. From there, you can actually have them finish coding out information. So when they submit that receipt, that coding detail is already done for you. We simply import your credit card statement. We've got one already started, Mr. Shane does. And then we come through and we select the lines that we want to go ahead and process. We move those to an in-process invoice. And now from here, we'll click that off and we'll match receipts. Once we go through and match our receipts, you'll notice you'll come back with a few symbols. One being a caution mark. This actually has multiple matched receipts to the same transaction. These 2 down below actually just have 1 receipt that's attached, but you'll know it's actually been coded to a job as well. But here down below, we have this circle with a question mark in it. That's because we're missing a receipt. From here, because we're missing this receipt, I can actually request this. And I'll grab Shane since he's on the call. I'm going to send him a system alert. I'm going to send him an email, and I'm going to send him a text to go ahead and get that receipt match so we can get this processed. So now that we've gotten all of our receipts matched, or if you don't have to have a full match receipt to process this, kind of depends on your workflow again, we're going to push this over into AP Flow, and it's going to be routed around for approval if that is your process, just like a normal invoice would. And with us being able to route on the line level, each individual cardholder would actually only get their lines to approve. Then we're going to push it back after fully approved into the accounting system, make that one payment to American Express, Visa, Bank of America, whoever that happens to be. And now we've got a new invoice that we've created from our statement. Plus we have all that receipt information as well. Plus now those receipts are actually living in the paperless system. Should you need to run a job report, you have all of the backup documentation. We also have the ability to do PO, subcontract, and receiving ticket lookups from your accounting system. This is our doc route feature. And within our doc route feature, as I mentioned before, this is for regular types of documents. The example Shane loves to use is we have a new lease agreement. And my task was to check through all the attached paperwork, and it's completed when I manually attach this. He could have asked me to go ahead and review this lease and sign it. Could have asked me to upload this lease. Some of our other users of the doc route feature is when they kick off a new project, it goes to the project manager and he'll assign the individuals that are going to work on that project. It then goes to HR. They record this information, save it in the paperless system. So if there's ever any questions of who's working on that project, they can go back and find it pretty quickly. And then finally, our clear to pay module. So we'll jump into our clear to pay module at the company level. Again, we're going to be tracking from the company level at the beginning, and then we're going to go down to the job level and then to the vendors. But you can quickly see what company is out of compliance from your very top level. If we drill down a little further into the job level, to the left, we have stop signs and green check marks to let us know exactly what's going on with that job. Within the job, we can now go into our vendors. Again, we can quickly see what they're in compliance and what they're out of compliance on. So here for A1, as a matter of fact, we've got their commitments are okay, insurance is out, their lien waivers and their custom compliance are okay. We drill down into the company just a touch further. We can now see any email activity. Special call out here to the email activity. This is where the automation comes in. We actually will generate emails to go out to your vendors to let them know when they're coming up on compliance issues. This gives them the ability to upload their information directly through a portal, so you're not having to play email back and forth with these guys. You can set up the emails to go out whenever you would like. You can actually set them out to go out to multiple people. The example Shane likes to use as well. He has a customer. The first one just goes to the vendor. The second email actually goes to the vendor and the project manager. The third email goes to the vendor, the project manager, and the owner of the company. So everybody is in full understanding when the invoice is not getting paid because they're out of compliance. And finally, too, a special benefit of working with the compliance within our AP flow settings. If we go to our clear to pay compliance, we actually can track this as the invoice comes in, and we can set up warnings or errors. A warning just gives us, as a processor or reviewer, that this person's out of compliance. An error will not allow us to process this invoice because they are out of compliance. So that kind of walks us through our system. Again, you guys put your questions in the chat. Got just a few people here. We probably could just go ahead and ask the question, should there be any? But at this point, I'll turn it over to Shane. We'll jump back into the system if you guys have any specific questions.
Yeah, wonderful job, Paxton. Appreciate that. So I've got a couple more slides here to finish up. Won't take long, guys, but like Paxton said, if you guys want to go ahead and we don't have many in here, so if you want to go ahead and unmute and ask any questions, feel free to do so. But just kind of recap all that and close the deck here. So what sets us apart? The Sage Paperless solution. So trusted automation, 20 plus years experience creating automated solutions for Sage platforms. Intuitive solutions, so deep knowledge of construction workflows is translated to a modern and easy to use interface that allows teams to work smarter, definitely not harder. Continuous innovation, so agile and responsive to construction industries, trends and evolutions. And then again, seamless integration here. 100 contractors, 300 CRE, and Sage Intacct with an easy implementation. Paxton had mentioned the clear to pay and kind of walked you guys through that. So again, COIs, lien waivers, custom compliance, commitments, business contractor licensing, certified payroll. All right, open up the floor. If anybody has any questions, feel free to fire away at us. Okay. Paxton, did you have something?
No, I was just going to mention that it's a lot to take in, and we kind of did it pretty quickly there in that 30-minute time frame. So, by all means, reach out to Tim or anyone, and if you guys would like to get a custom demo, maybe with some of your own documents, we're more than happy to get on a call with you guys and kind of dive a little deeper into your specific workflows.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody again for joining. And this session was recorded, so we'll make sure to get that out as well and give you guys some time back here today. So much appreciated and look forward to talking with you guys soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Paxton.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.